In the spirit of gratitude, I want to extend our deepest heartfelt thanks to our sponsor, AARP Illinois. Your support not only enhances our programs, but also enriches the lives of our most welcome guests here and help foster a vibrant community. It's partnerships like these that remind us the use of power and collaboration and importance of coming together to support one another. So thank you for believing in us and making a difference in our community. As we gather around our tables, as we're gathering around our tables, sharing this meal and enjoying the company of friends, let us remember the importance of connection in the hustle and bustle of our daily lives and for the weeks to come in this holiday season. It's easy to forget to pause and appreciate the moments we share together. Today, I encourage each of you to take a moment to reflect on the many blessings in our lives, our family, our friends, and the beautiful community we have all built here together. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce to you a very special performance for you all, the Oprisko Quintet. So get ready to enjoy some delightful music that will surely fill our spirits and add the joy of our gathering. Let's celebrate not just the talent of our performers, but the spirit of unity and gratitude and all things that are bringing us here together. Thank you. Have a great day.
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Peter Oprisko, and my band and I are honored to be here for this combination Thanksgiving and Veterans Day celebration. It's great to have all of you here, everybody. And my goodness, we've got a few turkeys with us up here. Well, at least one turkey. Hopefully the musicians are a little bit better quality. But it is great to be here, and we do have a lot to be thankful for, and it's great to have sort of a combination of celebrating Thanksgiving and Veterans Day, because what are we thankful for, ladies and gentlemen? Of course, Veterans Day is a day for reflecting on those who have given their utmost for our nation, and of course, Thanksgiving is a day to reflect upon many of the blessings that we have, like Rachel was mentioning. And of course, we are thankful for our veterans. So for all of you who are veterans, thank you for your service. It's great to have you here. And we'd like to start out in a patriotic style, ladies and gentlemen, with our national anthem. Brian, if you please. Thank you very much. Thank you. And what a great national anthem we have, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, Veterans Day. Some of you, of course, may remember when Veterans Day, in its original incarnation, was known as Armistice Day. Of course, Armistice Day, that was the end of World War I. The 11th minute of the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, the official ending of World War I. and or I should say a halt, a ceasefire in the fighting. The official end of World War I didn't happen until about 6 months later. But so we're talking about over a century ago, 1918. Now I don't think we have anybody here that goes back that far, but maybe we have one or two. Well, what kind of music were they listening to back during World War I, ladies and gentlemen? Anybody know? Maybe some of your parents were listening to some of the songs, like, for example, this one that was a #1 million seller in 1916. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, go! Everybody loves a baby, that's why I'm in love with you. Pretty baby, and I'd like to be your sister, brother, dad, and mother too. Pretty baby, won't you come and let me rock you with my pretty love, and we'll cuddle all the time. Oh, I wanna love you, baby, and it might as well be you. Pretty baby of mine, baby guy. Baby, that's why I'm in love with you. Pretty baby, and I'd like to be your sister, brother, dad, and mother too. Pretty baby, won't you come and let me rock you in my pretty love, and we'll cuddle all the time. Oh, I wanna love you, baby, and it might as well be you. Pretty baby, pretty baby of mine. Oh, thank you, everybody. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. So let me see a show of hands. How many of you were familiar with that song? All the way back from 1916. That's the kind of songs they were listening to during World War I, ladies and gentlemen. How do you know about that tune? Maybe your parents? Maybe your parents? All right, very good, very good. Well, of course, during World War I, another great selection that was a #1 million seller, 1917. This is a tune that is very popular, especially around St. Patrick's Day. But this song, of course, tells the story of the heartache of seeing your son go off to war with the hope and the prayer that he comes back. And this is one of the reasons that this song was so popular during World War I. Gentlemen, if you please. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, daddy boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside. The summer's gone and all the leaves are falling. 'Tis you must go and I must cry. But come ye back when summer's in the meadow, or when the valleys hushed and white with snow, 'tis I'll be there in sunshine or in shadow. Oh, Danny boy, oh, Danny boy, I love you so. Here's Brian Butts on the tenor saxophone. But I'll be back when summer's in the meadow. Oh, when the valleys hush and white with snow, 'tis I'll be there in sunshine or in shadow. Oh, Danny boy, oh, Danny boy, I love you so. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. One of the most popular songs of World War I. That goes back to 1917, Danny boy. Maybe some of you, maybe some of your parents served during World War I. Anybody who had parents that served during World War I? Perhaps? Nobody? Okay. Grandparents, okay. Oh, terrific, very good. Wonderful, wonderful. Well, of course, World War I, that was supposed to be the war to end all wars. And that peace only lasted a little over 20 years. And then about 20 some years later, Germany invaded Poland in September of 1939, and suddenly, Neville Chamberlain got off the plane. He said, "We had peace in our time," and Hitler made a fool out of him. And the United States, of course, President Roosevelt vowed to keep us out of World War II. But then there was that day of infamy, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, when Pearl Harbor was attacked, December 7th, 1941. By the way, we want to salute all of our veterans here by featuring some of the theme songs from the various branches of the military. So I know we've got queued up here a theme called Caissons Go Rolling Along. Now that's for the Army, right? All right, we got Army veterans here? Yeah. Raise your hands. You're proud. We're proud to have you here. Terrific. Very good. Thank you for your service. Wonderful. Right over there. Another Army veteran right over here. Very good. Thank you so much. Guys, if you want to, go ahead. Right here. this is Dave Holloway tickling it out this for you on his small, red, mighty keyboard here. Hey, how about that? Great tribute to all of our Army veterans, and great to have you here today, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, as I mentioned, when World War II started, the United States was not in it. We got in it a couple of years later. And what kind of music were we listening to during World War II? So maybe your parents, perhaps, were listening. I don't know, we have anybody here that was born in the 40s? Oh, I hit the mother load. What year were you born, dear? 45, at the tail end of World War II. Terrific, very good. Who else was born in the 40s? Yes, dear. 42, very good, yes. 41, all right, who else? Yes, dear. 44. 37. 1937, you're just a whippersnapper. Very good, so that's before World War II. Terrific, very good. Who else? Who else? Yes, dear. 32, yes, dear. 43, all right. 32. What was happening? So when the United States joined World War II, you were almost 10 years old. My goodness. Well, you know what? One of the songs that you might remember from World War II is a song that was actually written 1 year before you were born. This is a song that was written by a fellow named Herman Hupfeld in 1931. Anybody here ever heard of Herman Hupfeld? You've heard of Herman Hupfeld? You were born in 1930, okay. Herman Hupfeld, was that your neighbor or what? No. Well, so you were 1 year old when Herman Hupfeld wrote this song, and it was recorded at the time in 1931 by a guy named Rudy Valley. Anybody remember Rudy Valley? He'd sing through the megaphone, he'd say, "Hi-ho, everybody." Well, so Rudy Valley recorded this Herman Hupfeld tune in 1931. It did absolutely nothing. Didn't resonate with the public at the time. And then about, 11 years later or so, this song was featured in a Humphrey Bogart motion picture called Casablanca. And that old Rudy Valley record from 1931 that did absolutely nothing was re-released in 1942. Just as the U.S. was getting into World War II, and suddenly it resonated with the public. It became a #1 million seller, ladies and gentlemen, for Rudy Valley. It was the biggest hit of Rudy Valley's career. And we still get a lot of requests for this song even to this day. And, well, of course, I've mentioned Casablanca, I've mentioned Humphrey Bogart, so I'm sure you're familiar with this song. Here we go, everybody. 1, 2, 3, 4. You must remember this. A kiss is still a kiss. A sigh is just a sigh. The fundamental things apply as time goes by. And when two lovers woo, they still say I love you. I didn't mean to sneak up on you, dear. On that you can rely. No matter what the future brings as time goes by. Moonlight and love songs, never out of date. Hearts full of passion, jealousy and hate. Woman needs man, man must have his mate. That no one can deny. What are you doing after the show, baby? It's still the same old story, a fight for love and glory. of do or die, and the world will always welcome lovers as time goes by. Brian, take a half a chorus while I cozy up to one of our lovely guests and get a little better acquainted here. Joan, how are you? Are you willing to share your apple pie? Oh, that apple pie looks good. And what is it that you're drinking? They got apple cider for you? I understand that apple cider is spiked with a little vodka. So keep drinking because the show gets better, folks. Oh, think about it now. Moonlight and love songs, never out of date. Hearts full of passion, jealousy and hate. Woman needs man, man must have his mate. That no one can deny. Well, it's still the same old story, a fight for love and glory. Case of do or die, and the world will always welcome lovers as time goes by. What a great song, ladies and gentlemen. It transcends generations. And it talks about the moonlight and love songs. Never out of date. They never go out of style. They never go out of fashion. Moonlight and love songs, absolutely. And that's what we're all about, ladies and gentlemen. And probably, a lot of you probably are familiar with that song or recognize that song. Of course, as I mentioned, written originally in 1931, became a big hit in 1942-43, once it was featured in Casablanca. And so that's one of the great songs that they were listening to during World War II. Maybe when a lot of you were just little kids. Maybe your parents would listen to the radio. That song was at the top of your hit parade for many, many weeks, ladies and gentlemen, in 1943. I don't know, maybe I'm dating myself. Anybody here ever listen to that old radio program, Your Hit Parade? Oh, okay, so you know what I'm talking about. You know, back in those days, there was no such thing as television. Main form of entertainment around the house was what? Was the radio, right? Family gather around the radio, you tune in your favorite shows. Of course, if you wanted to hear the top hits of the day, you tuned in every Saturday night and you listened to Your Hit Parade, sponsored by Lucky Strike. Oh my goodness, and it was always very exciting, wasn't it? Because they count down the top 10 songs of the week. I have to confess, my favorite part of the Your Hit Parade radio broadcasts was the announcer who'd come on the top of the show every week and he'd say, LSMFT, LSMFT, Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. So round, so firm, so fully packed, so free and easy on the draw. Yeah, it reminded me of a girl I dated once. Oh, but that's back when music was music and entertainment was entertainment, ladies and gentlemen. Now, next up, we have a song here that was kind of a controversial song back during World War II. This is a song that was actually written back in World War I by a guy named Johnny Black. And it took him about 14 years to find a publisher that would take a chance on this song. Finally got the song published in 1929. And then this became a #1 million seller for the Mills Brothers in 1943. But there was just a little problem with this song. At least there was a million seller here in the United States. Over in Britain, our ally during World War II, Britain, they said, no, we can't play this on the radio. We're not going to play this on the BBC because it's offensive to British womanhood. So they banned the Mills Brothers record of this song from the BBC. Wasn't allowed to be played on the radio in Britain, ladies and gentlemen, but here in the United States it became a pretty big hit, like I said, for the Mills Brothers, and some of you might recognize this. See if this song is as offensive as the British thought it was back during World War II. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Doll that I call my own, a doll that other fellas cannot steal. And then those flirty guys with their flirty eyes will have to pick on dollies that are real. When I come home each night, she will be waiting. She'll be the truest doll in all this world. I'd rather have a favorite doll to call my own than have a fickle-minded real live girl. Take it away, Bryce.
Great to have you here. I hope you're having a good time. Let me know if there's a song you want to hear. We got it. We'll do it for you. Great to have you.
These girls over here. I'm gonna buy a paper doll that I can call my own, a doll that other fellas cannot steal. And then those flirty guys with their flirty eyes will have to pick on dollars that are real. When I come home each night, she'll be waiting. She'll be the truest doll in all this world. I'd rather have a paper doll to call my own and have a fickle-minded live Oh yeah! Thank you very much. #1 million seller for the Mills Brothers, at least in the United States in 1943 during World War II. But they wouldn't play that record on the radio over in England. Now, was that? I don't know. Did you hear those lyrics? I'm going to buy a paper doll? What? All you ladies, is that something that's offensive to you? Rather have a paper doll than a fickle-minded real live girl? You're not fickle-minded, are you? You may be a little choosy sometimes, but not fickle-minded. All right, very good. Oh my goodness. So that's some of the music that they were listening to during World War II, ladies and gentlemen. And then of course, World War II, it took a little while, even after the United States got involved. It took a little while for the tide to turn in the favor of the Allies. But by 1944, things were looking up. We had D-Day and the great invasion and in France, and started pushing the Nazis back. And, well, in 1944, there was kind of a unique song. Well, there were a lot of unique songs, but this one in particular, very unique historically, because there were two #1 million-selling versions of this song in the same year, 1944. One of them was by a Tacoma, Washington native named Harry Lilith Crosby. You knew him better as Bing Crosby. And then another version, the second #1 version in the same year, 1944, was by a Hoboken, New Jersey native named Francis Albert Sinatra. Old Blue Eyes, who was young Blue Eyes back in those days. He was just a skinny vocalist, and he had all the girls screaming and swooning over him. Of course, back in those days, and during World War II, there was a bit of a friendly rivalry. Of course, all the kids liked Sinatra, and all of the kids' parents liked Bing Crosby, right? So maybe that's why there were two #1 million-selling versions of this song in the same year, 1944. And of course, the message in this song is very powerful as well. One that resonated not only here in the United States, but of course, with our fighting troops overseas as well. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, go! I'll be seeing you in all the old familiar places that this heart of mine embraces all day through. In the small cafe, the park across the way, the children's carousel, the chestnut trees, the wishing well. Yes, I'll be seeing you in every lovely summer's day, in everything that's light and gay. I'll always think of you that way. I'll find you in the morning sun, and when the night is through, I'll be looking at the moon, but I'll be seeing you. Pretty good. Somebody should hire him. That's Brian Butts on the tenor saxophone. Of course, I can't do this type of engagement without having consummate professional musicians backing me up, ladies and gentlemen. Brian Butts, tenor saxophone, David Holloway on the keyboards, Clifford Griffin on upright bass, and locking it in on that rhythm section, it's Ken Takaoka on the drums. That this heart of mine embraces all day through. In the small cafe, that park across the way, the children's carousel, the chestnut tree, the wishing well. Yes, I'll be seeing you in every lovely summer's day, in everything that's light and gay. I'll always think of you that way. I'll find you in the morning sun and when the night is new. I'll be looking at the moon, but I'll be seeing you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, everybody. An unusual song, unusual in the fact that there were two #1 million selling versions within the same year. So something pretty special about that song, I'll Be Seeing You. And of course, the hope back in World War II was that we'd be seeing our loved ones again, the soldiers coming back. And of course, the Allies did win the war, ladies and gentlemen. And by September of 1945, the war was over, and our guys were heading back home. And this song turned out to be a #1 million seller for Les Brown and his band of renown during the fall of 1945. Oh, that's right. Oh, David just reminded me we gotta pay tribute musically to another one of the military service branches. And anybody here serve in the Navy? Any squads? No. That's all right. Talking about Frank Sinatra. Frank Sinatra, in 1945, he had all the girls swooning because he starred in an MGM Technicolor motion picture called Anchors Aweigh. And his co-star was Gene Kelly. And of course, this was their theme song, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. It's been a while. Anchors Aweigh, ladies and gentlemen. And so great tribute to everybody who has served in the Navy. That's the Navy theme song. And as I was mentioning, by 1945, the fall of 45, VE Day, VJ Day, the war was over, our troops were coming home, and Les Brown and his band of renown had a tune that helped welcome them home in the fall of 1945. And the girl vocalist on this record, #1 million seller, by the way, of this record. But the girl vocalist was from Cincinnati, Ohio. Her name, Doris Marianne Kappelhoff. Doris Day, that's right, but her real name was Doris Marianne Kappelhoff. It was too long to fit on the marquee, so they had to come up with something short and sweet. And of course, it worked for her. And this song with Doris Day on the vocal and Les Brown's band of renown backing her up helped to welcome home our troops, ladies and gentlemen. A good sing-along song, if you like. I notice we got a lot of good vocal talent here. I kind of feel like Mitch Miller leading the old sing-along. Remember sing-along with Mitch? You'd follow the bouncing ball on the screen? We don't even need the bouncing ball, do we? Everybody knows all these great classic tunes, even the ones going back to World War I. Here we go now. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, go! Good way to take us into our little intermission. We'll have a raffle draw and all kinds of goodies for you folks, and then we'll be back with part 2. Gonna take a sentimental journey, gonna set my heart at ease. Gonna make a sentimental journey to renew old memories. I got my bags, I've got my reservation. Spend each dime I could. Give me 5 minutes, I'll clear out the whole room. Wild anticipation, long to hear that all aboard. 7, that's the time we leave at 7. I'll be waiting up for heaven. Counting every mile of the railroad track that takes me back. I never thought my heart could be so yearning. Why did I decide to roll? I gotta take a sentimental journey, sentimental journey home. Start traffic, guys. I'll be waiting up for heaven. Counting every mile of railroad track that takes me back. I never thought my heart could be so yearning. Why did I decide to roll? I gotta take a sentimental journey, sentimental journey home. I gotta make a sentimental journey home. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. We'll take a little intermission and take care of some business. We've got a raffle. Rachel's got a raffle and some other goodies coming up for you. And we'll be back up shortly. Stick around. Thank you, ma'am. Your check's in the mail. I appreciate it.
I hope you all are having a wonderful time with the performance by Peter Oprisko's Quintet. How are we? That was a great first act, I agree. So we could take a moment and express our heartfelt gratitude to Peter as we're taking this short intermission with their amazing music with us today. Seriously, their energy and passion, it definitely enhanced our gathering, and we are so grateful to have them here. Okay, as we take our intermission, I'd like to remind everyone about the restrooms. We do have our closest ones here to the south and immediately off to your left, or if you need to refill any refreshments, you can visit Prairie Bluffs Restaurant and Bar. It's through these double doors on your right-hand side, and then if not, just keep going down the hall. You can probably go see Steve at the golf center and go use the restrooms there. For our viewers at home, thank you for joining us. We appreciate your support, and we encourage you to like, comment, share today's performance. Your engagement helps us to continue bringing these wonderful events to everyone in our community here in Ann Arbor. So thank you again, AARP, for this wonderful opportunity. And with their generous support and making a significant difference in not only our programming but community, we get to have a little more fun. Does everyone have their raffle tickets? Yes. Hey, okay, so we have 2 sets of colors of raffle tickets with us today. We have a blue one, which is everyone is entered to win. We had 2 blue buckets to pick from. So I had some Vera Bradley key tags and lanyard, thank you for that. The lanyard and key tags. So the tag's still on there, so if you like those, I have 5 winners for those. And then I have 4 winners for our angel donor. We had a very generous angel donor with us today. He or she likes to remain anonymous, and they have brought in 4 monetary gifts for us. So I'm not sure what's inside those envelopes, but thank you to our angel donor. We have 4 winners for that. So we have 9 winners total for blue tickets. Right now, I'm going to call the Vera Bradley bucket first. So I have my 5 blue tickets. I'm going to read the last 4 numbers for our Vera Bradley lanyard keychains. I have 8157, 8157. Miss Joan Lorinsky, congratulations. Next up, I have 8216, 8216. I love it so much. Congratulations. Next up, I have an 8176. 8176. Wow, right away. Take 5. Look at you. Good jive. Okay, 2 more. I have 8153. 8153. We got Marilyn right here. Congratulations. And I have 8175. 75. Very nice, very nice. So those are, okay, so those are our winners. Let's give a round of applause for our Vera Bradley winners. Thank you so much, everyone, for participating. Next up, let me get myself ready here. We have our 4 winners for our little envelopes. Here we go, Antoinette. Thank you so much. Okay, first winner, same thing, last 4 numbers. We have 8220, 8220. 8220. Still blue, 8220. I'm looking at it. Oh, I heard it. Hey, congratulations. 8220 winner right there. I knew we got it. Okay. Next one, I have 8145. 8145. 8145. Very nice. Miss Sharon's a winner. Winner. And we had chicken dinner. I have next up 8190. 8190. Another drawer. And my last lovely winner today is 8139. 39. You're my winner. Great job. Thank you. Let's give a round of applause. Thank you, everyone. That is just, thank you for being here. Everyone was entered. Thank you so much for coming to our matinee. We really appreciate you. So, our last raffle to give out, we have 3 winners. And I talked it down to 3, and it's basically your matinee ticket. And I know, but these are your red ones. You have to purchase to be able to enter. Here's the 3 stacks right there. And 1 for 1, 6 for 5. Our 3 winners are going home with $55 each. So thank you for coming to the matinee. Come to another one. So our first winner, these are all red tickets. I'm going to read the last 3 numbers. Cool. I know. First winner, 382. 382. Here's our veteran. Happy Veterans Day, George. Thanks for coming. He's Army. Next up, I have 405. Next winner is 405. Miss Congratulations. And our last winner is 557. 557. Woo, was that an 80 winner? Oh, you're missing right there. Table 5 is Holy. So thank you everyone for participating in our November matinee. Hopefully we see a lot of you in December for our the 4 C-notes, and for anyone who made it on our wait list, next year when we have the 4 C-notes, I have them 2 times that day. So we'll have 2 showings of the 4 C-notes in 2025 on the same day. So if you didn't make this year, I got you for next year, okay? All right, we'll turn the music on. We got a couple more minutes left of our intermission, and Peter will come back on in about 10 minutes. So thank you so much, everyone.
what, a hairball?
Like that. I have one just like that. But I don't. That's wrong. But anyhow, Betty, you know, it's
Okay. Do you still like your cider?
yes.
Oh, okay.
He had a lot of friends. She's always fine. Doing things. She likes staying home. But anyhow, long story short, she's planning to move, and I live here, and she was beside this dog in Linda. Linda passed 2 or 3 years ago, and he gave her a house. And she was there
I just wanted to remind everyone, I know there was a couple questions. I did mention at the very beginning when we started the lunch that I upgraded your to-go dessert, because, you know,
chocolate chip cookies, we could have those, but I decided to upgrade it after I printed the menu, and I upgraded them to the Lindor chocolates that I see at everyone's table they've had. So if you did it, if you could just raise your hand really quick, I'm gonna grab that bag and make sure you get to go go home with that. Yeah, but those were, as I made sure to tell everyone when I first opened up that I upgraded your to-go dessert to that Lindor chocolate selection. So quick, raise your hand real quick, I'm gonna see where those tables are for the couple that didn't get it, and then, you know, right there, and there, sure, I'll be right there, no worries.
go. Polka time, everybody. Good job, everyone.
You know, it's funny, that kind of music,
Oh,
I
let's hear
started
the
playing that kind of music 71 years ago.
Well, welcome back to part 2 of our little presentation, everybody. We hope you're having a lot of fun. This is a lot of fun for us, and we hope we're doing the same for you. Or at the very least, we hope you're having more fun today than you had at your last proctologist exam. I know, it's a low threshold. You got to start somewhere. We have any veterans of the Marines? Any Marine veterans? Marines. That's all right. We'll salute the Marines with the Marines hymn. Here we go. Well, we talked about World War I, we talked about World War II. World War II ended, fall of 1945. Wouldn't you know it? Less than 5 years later, we were back at war again, ladies and gentlemen. We have any veterans of the Korean conflict? What was known as the Korean conflict. The Korean War? Korean War, my goodness. And technically, the war is not over, ladies and gentlemen. The Korean conflict is technically not over. It was just a ceasefire. And of course, the 38th parallel, the DMZ, the demilitarized zone, between North and South Korea. But 1950 to 1953, now that was a pretty interesting period for music. 1950, when the Korean War started, there was somebody named Teresa Brewer who had a chart-topping million seller with this tune. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, go! Another nickel in the Nickelodeon. All I want is having you and music. I'd do anything for you, anything you want me to. All I want is kissing you and music. Closer, my dear, come closer. The nicest part of any melody is when you're dancing close to me. So put another nickel in the Nickelodeon. All I want is loving you and music. Go! Melody is when you're dancing close to me. So Lisa Brewer, back during the Korean War, 1950. Watching those ladies dance, that reminds me of some of the great ballrooms we used to have, at least around the Chicagoland area. For example, anybody here ever go dancing at the Aragon Ballroom? Hey, so you know what I'm talking about. And then on the south side, there was the Trianon, right? Trianon Ballroom. And there were a number of other ballrooms. Paradise Ballroom. Anybody remember the Paradise? And then, of course, out here in the suburbs, we had the O. Henry, which later became known as the Willowbrook Ballroom in Willow Springs. Absolutely, everybody. Very good, very good. Oh, that's where we used to perform every Sunday afternoon for the ballroom dancers, ladies and gentlemen. Up until October of 2016, when the O. Henry, or the Willowbrook, burned down, ladies and gentlemen. Hard to believe it's been 8 years since the Willowbrook burned down. Oh my goodness, very good, very good. Well, good job, dancers, good job, ladies. Terrific, very good. Well, of course, the Korean War, like I said, lots of good music from that period. 1951. Where were you in 1951? You were, you were 10 years old? 10 years old? You were in kindergarten? So some of you maybe were in school. Some of you maybe were just graduating from high school. Graduated from high school in 51? In 50? All right, terrific, very good, very good. Well, I'm glad that song, Music, 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 resonated with you. Very good. Put another nickel in the Nickelodeon, a nickel. That's all it cost back in those days. Put a nickel in the jukebox there. Nowadays, what does it cost you to play the jukebox? A couple bucks? Holy cow. Well, times were different. 1951, there was a World War II veteran who hit it big in 1951. A guy from New York City, Astoria, New York, as a matter of fact, Anthony Dominic Benedetto. Tony Bennett, you knew him better as Tony Bennett. Tony Bennett was a World War II veteran. He served in the Army during World War II. After the war ended, he returned home to New York City, started singing in little clubs, restaurants around the New York City area. Of course, he wasn't known as Tony Bennett. He was Anthony Dominic Benedetto, but he thought his name was a little too Italian sounding, a little too ethnic sounding. So, can never be too Italian, that's right. Oh, but after what we confronted during World War II, Italy, Germany, Japan, well, there you go. So Tony was a little sensitive about that, so he thought, you know what, I'm going to pick out a stage name for myself, and it'll be more marketable than Anthony Dominic Benedetto. People only think I sing Italian songs, but I'll pick out a stage name. Anybody know what Tony Bennett's stage name was before he hit it big? Tony Bennett's stage name was Joe Barry. B-A-R-I, Joe Barry. And so one night in 1949, Joe Barry is singing in a hole-in-the-wall club in New York City. And in walks one of the great entertainers of all time, Pearl Bailey. Pearl Bailey, smitten with Joe Barry. She says, this kid has got it. What a great talent. She hires Joe Barry to be her opening act. One night she invites all of her show business friends down to the club to catch her act and to catch this brand new talent that she just discovered, Joe Barry. And one of those friends was a great comedian named Bob Hope. And Bob Hope was so impressed with Joe Barry, he decided to take him on a USO tour to Korea in 1950. And it was a very successful USO tour, but one night Bob Hope pulled him aside. Bob Hope said, kid, I love the way you sing, but we got to do something about that name, because Joe Barry is absolutely... And Anthony Dominic Benedetto is not going to fit on the marquee. And that's when he became Tony Bennett, ladies and gentlemen. And the success of that USO tour in Korea, South Korea, with Bob Hope, caught the attention of the head of Columbia Records in late 1950, a guy by the name of Mitch Miller. We talked about Mitch Miller. Long before there was Sing Along with Mitch, there was record company executive Mitch Miller. He was the head of Columbia Records at the time. He signed new talent that was emerging at the time, like Rosemary Clooney, Johnny Ray, Johnny Mathis, who else? Guy Mitchell. Anybody remember Guy Mitchell? How about Frankie Lane? Absolutely, yeah. So, and this new singer, Tony Bennett. And in 1951, one of Tony Bennett's very first records for Columbia Records turned out to be his very first big hit. Matter of fact, his very first hit record. And what a big hit it was. #1 multi-million seller in 1951. Some of you may have purchased this as an old 78, or maybe as a little 45. Remember the 45s? They look like donuts. They got the big hole in them. See if this record by Tony Bennett sounds familiar. Here we go.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Because of you, there's a song in my heart. Because of you, my romance had its start. Because of you, the sun will shine, the moon and stars will say you're mine forever and never to part. I only live for your love and your kiss. It's paradise to be with you like this. Because of you, my life is now worthwhile, and I can smile because of you. Tony Bennett's very first big hit, ladies and gentlemen, #1 million seller from 1951 during the midst of the Korean War. Boy, that last note was a killer. There goes my hernia. No, I'm just kidding. It's great to be able to sing some of these songs, these great classic tunes that never go out of style, and especially for an appreciative audience. A lot of you probably remember where you were and what you were doing when you first heard some of these songs, like Music, 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 Because of You, or how about this tune, 1951, a tune, kind of a country-flavored song, a tune that was written by a guy named Hank Williams. And Hank Williams had the big hit record of this in 1951. It's a pretty good pickup line. Well, it was back then. Let's see if it's still as effective today. Here we go now.
Shuffle blues. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey, good looking, what you got cooking? How's not cooking? There's something up with me. Hey, sweet baby, don't you think, baby, we could find us a brand new recipe? I got a hot board and a $2 bill. I know a spot right over the hill. There's soda pop and the dancing's free. If you wanna have fun, come along with me. Hey, What you got cooking? How's about cooking? Something up with me. Cook it up, Brian. Cook it up now. During the Korean War. Hey, good looking. What you got cooking? Now, was that pretty effective back in those days? Can I try? Is it effective today? Let me see. Let me find out. Hold on a second. Let's see now. Let me take a look. Hey, good looking. What you got cooking? Oh, we got to take the show on the road. Very good, very good. Think about those lyrics. 1951. I got a hot rod Ford and a $2 bill. Now back then, in 1951, you could have fun for $2, right? That bought a lot of fun. That bought a good evening out. Boy, now what can you buy for $2? Nothing. Can't buy a gallon of milk. Can't buy a gallon of gas. Holy cow, $2 doesn't go as far as it used to. So if we were to adapt that song for today's circumstances, we'd say, I got a hot rod Uber and a $100 bill. How about that? Would that I don't even know with $100. Holy cow, very good, very good. But times were different back in those days, ladies and gentlemen. And of course it was the Korean War, 1951. And like I said, the war lasted from 1950 to 1953. In 1952, there was a good-sized hit with a song that could have applied to anybody involved in the Korean War, or especially maybe a girl whose, her fella is 12,000 miles away, halfway around the world, fighting in Korea, and she might sing this song to him or send it in a letter. Chart-topping million seller for Joe Stafford from 1952. Beautiful ballad, walking ballad that goes like this.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, does that sound familiar? Martin had a top 10 hit rendition of this song that same year, 1952. It goes just like this. See the pyramids along the Nile, the sunrise from a tropic isle. Just remember, darling, all the while you belong to me. See the marketplace in old Algiers. Send me photographs and souvenirs. Just remember, when I dream of tears, you belong to me. I'll be so alone without you. Hi, how are you? Is he getting jealous yet? Oh, you don't know? Maybe you'll be lonesome too, and blue. Fly the ocean in a silver plane. See the jungle when it's wet with rain. Just remember, if you're home again, you belong to me. You belong to me, dear. I'm very possessive. I'm coming for you. Let me switch microphones now. This thing's not plugged in. What's going on? My goodness. My microphone, the battery on my microphone is dying. Let's see if... Oh, I got a good one here. This thing's not working. You got to get it checked out, dude. Oh, good to see it. I'll be so alone without you. Maybe you'll be lonesome too, and blue. Fly the ocean in a silver plane. See the jungle when it's wet with rain. Just remember, till you're home again, you belong to me. Isn't that a pretty song? Thank you, everybody. Chart-topping million seller for Joe Stafford from 1952 during the Korean conflict. I like that lyric line in there. Fly the ocean in a silver plane. Reminds me of my late father-in-law, who was in the Air Force. We have any Air Force veterans here? Anybody who used to fly that silver plane? Nobody? Oh, I'm losing one. Oh, you have a meeting? Yeah. Oh, okay. I was going to say, maybe it was something I said. I'll clean up the act, dear. Great to have you here. Hope you have a good Thanksgiving, sweetie. Very good. Oh, here we go. So talking about the Air Force. No Air Force veterans here? That's all right. We gotta salute our Air Force veterans with the theme of the Army Air Corps. Here we go. There we go. Off we go into the wild blue yonder, Brian. Take him there. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks again to all of our members of the military, all of our veterans for their service, putting their lives on the line so that we can all stay free and enjoy all of the wonderful benefits and blessings that our country gives us, ladies and gentlemen. I'd rather live here than any place else in the world. I was driving here. I hope we get some applause for that. You know, regardless of what political differences we may have, ladies and gentlemen, obviously there have been quite a few in recent years. But I can't think of, you hear these people who say, you know what, if so-and-so gets into office, I'm leaving the country. That's what I say. What are they going to find that's better? Absolutely. I heard on the news when I was driving here, I was listening to the radio news, and they said, Eva Longoria is following through on her promise. Trump got elected, she's moving to Mexico. You talk about a desperate housewife. So, but all of these people, they speak a big line, but you know what? We've got the greatest country in the world, ladies and gentlemen. By far. I would rather live here than in Iran. I would rather live here than in Russia. I would rather live here than in China. People think, Ukraine? Oh, Ukraine, yes. You know, if people would step back, people get, and I understand, these are emotional things. People sometimes let their emotions overrule their common sense, but if they step back and they examine things, just from a point of objectivity, they say, yeah, we may have problems here in the United States, but it ain't nearly as bad as it is in some of these other countries. So, God bless us, God bless us, God bless. I'm very grateful. My parents, my grandparents immigrated from Czechoslovakia during World War I. And I'm very blessed to have been born here. We're all very blessed, ladies and gentlemen. And of course all of us have roots in other places. Our descendants came maybe from Europe or other parts of the world. But like I said, I can't imagine living anywhere else and enjoying the freedoms and the kind of life that we have here, that this great country has given us, ladies and gentlemen. So, thank you. By the way, the office I'm running for is... Oh my goodness. That lyric line, that lyric line in that song, You Belong to Me. Fly the ocean in a silver plane. Talking about, of course, the Air Force. We played the theme for the Army Air Corps. And I know we have at least one Vietnam veteran here. What branch of the service were you in?
Army.
You were in the Army. Okay. So the draft card came up, the number came up, and you went.
Oh, yes.
You didn't burn it. You didn't dodge it. You didn't go to Canada to avoid it. And we owe you a debt of gratitude, sir, that cannot never be repaid. Thank you for your service. In 1969, a great singer-songwriter named John Denver wrote a tune that he never had a big hit with, but a folk group called Peter, Paul, and Mary had a chart-topping million seller of this. This was the #1 record all around, around Thanksgiving and Christmas time of 1969. It was the last hit that Peter, Paul, and Mary had, ladies and gentlemen. And what a hit. And of course, referring to this, this song certainly is connected to the Vietnam conflict. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, go! Outside your door, I hate to wake you up to say goodbye. But the dawn is breaking, it's early morn. The taxi's waiting and blown his horn. Already I'm so lonesome I could die. So kiss me and smile for me. Tell me that you you never let me go. Because I'm leaving on a jet plane, don't know when I'll be back again. Oh, babe, I hate to go. There's so many times I've let you down, so many times I've played around. I tell you now, they didn't mean a thing. Every place I go, I think of you. Every song I sing, sing for you. When I come back, I'll wear your wedding ring. So kiss me and smile for me. Tell me that you wait for me. Hold me like you'll never let me go. Because I'm leaving on a jet plane, don't know when I'll be back again. Oh, babe, I hate to go. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. Top-topping million seller for Peter, Paul, and Mary from Thanksgiving 1969, the holiday season of 1969. That was the big selling record that year, ladies and gentlemen. And where were you? Maybe some of you ladies were getting married. Or maybe you were already married. Maybe some of you were raising a family. You had four kids, 4 children. In 1969, you gave birth to your fourth child? Wow, terrific. Very good. God bless you, dear. How many kids did you have altogether? That was it. I don't blame you. That's a lot. Isn't it interesting? You know, back when we were an agrarian society, 100 years ago, more than 100 years ago, a couple of 100 years ago, couples would have huge families. Right? Because you needed the farm help, right? We were an agrarian society, agriculture. That's what was dominant. So families, they'd have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 kids. Sometimes more than that. 12 kids. Incredible. Incredible. And now, they say our birth rate in the United States is among the lowest of the modern countries, ladies and gentlemen. For every couple, we have maybe 1.5 children. Not sure about that half. I don't know where that comes from. But isn't that amazing? That's right, which end, right. But isn't that amazing how things have evolved through the years, through the centuries, through the decades and the generations? Huge families, now we have smaller families. Back in those days, of course, there were no compact discs, there were no computers. People actually sat at the dinner table and enjoyed conversation with each other. We play at a lot of restaurants. Now I walk around with a wireless microphone trying to serenade tableside.
at various engagements that I do, and I see people texting across the table to each other. Why do they do that? Why not talk? What is going on with our society, ladies and gentlemen? But a lot of you remember the glory days. You know, technology is great, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we have to do all of the things that technology leads us to do. Sometimes, shaking a hand, touching somebody, kissing somebody, holding somebody, talking to somebody is better than a text. So, there you go. And I have to tell you, 1969, an interesting year for music. Of course, songs like Leave It on a Jet Plane. Music was changing. It was a lot different. And every generation has its own style of music to express itself. Now, I don't know, this current generation, some of the music, I'd like to hear Taylor Swift sing some of these songs. Not quite sure she'd be able to handle it. And I'm not sure, now when today's kids are our age, they're going to enjoy these Taylor Swift and some of these other songs that are out there. I try to listen to the radio these days. I don't know, all of these songs that we've performed for you, ladies and gentlemen, they come from a period of time when music was really music. You know what I mean? When melodies were hummable and singable, and the lyrics told a story, and maybe the most important thing, you could actually understand what the singer was singing, right? So in 1969, for example, very simple song, but it became a top 5 hit for a guy who is still around, although he's retired. I'm talking about Neil Diamond. And in 1969, Neil Diamond had a big hit with a song that was based on young Carolyn Kennedy, or Caroline Kennedy.
There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
And the troops fighting over in Vietnam. I'm sure they enjoyed this one. Where it began, I can't begin to know it, but then I know it's growing strong. Was in the spring, then spring came the summer. Who'd believe you'd come along? And touching hands, reaching out, touching you, touching me. Sweet Caroline, good times never seem so good. I didn't find you believe they never would, but now I look at the night and it don't seem so lonely. We fill it up with only 2. And when I hurt, curtain runs off my shoulder. How can I hurt when holding you? Warm, touching warm, reaching out, touching you, touching me. Everybody now, sweet Caroline, the times never seem so good, so good, so good, so good. I really tried. You believe they never would. Oh yes, my sweet Caroline. Thank you very much. Good job singing along, everybody, on that big hit from Neil Diamond from 1969 during the midst of the Vietnam War. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I hope I'm not in trouble. Give me a ticket for an airplane? You mean leaving on a jet plane or what?
Oh, you need a ticket for an airplane.
Give me a ticket for an airplane? Is that a song? That's a song?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not familiar with that. Give me a ticket for an airplane.
Remember it all.
Okay.
I'll look it up.
All right. And I'll try to look that up too. Now you got my curiosity peaked. Give me a ticket. Anybody ever heard of a song? Give me a ticket for an airplane? Oh, it's called The Letter. The Letter. Okay. Well, who had the big hit of them? The Box Tops, right? Was the group. The Box Tops. That was their big. That's right. That's right. The Letter. That's right. Very good. A group called the Box Tops. I think that was what, about 1967, 68? Very good. Of course, the Vietnam, my goodness, the Vietnam War lasted a lot of years, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of young lives lost. And for what? I don't know. I don't know. But certainly, I hope some of you, maybe some of you already have had a chance to go to Washington, D.C. and see some of the memorials they have, the World War I, World War II memorial, the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, the memorial, all of these memorials, Korean Memorial, and of course Desert Storm Memorial. They've got some of the other ones as well. So very good, very good. One more tune from 1969 in the midst of the Vietnam conflict. This is a tune that was, it's our most requested song. And I think it's our most requested because it's something that each and every one of us take very personally. It's a very personal song. No matter what kind of life you've lived it your way, right? Right or wrong? Absolutely. And once again, another great tune that I'm sure our fighting troops over in Vietnam appreciated. Here we go.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll make it clear, I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I traveled each and every highway, much more than this. I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do and saw it through without exemption. I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway. Much more than this, I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew. But through when there was doubt, I ate it up and spit it out. I faced it all, and I stood tall and did it my way. I've loved, I've laughed and cried, I've had my fill, my share of losing. And now, as tears subside, I find it all so amusing to think I did all that, and may I say, not in a shy way. Oh no, not me. I did it my way. For what is a man? What has he got? If not himself, then he has not to say the things he truly feels, and not the words of one who kneels. The record shows I took the blows and did it my ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. It has been a privilege and a pleasure and an honor for me and my musicians to be able to be here to serenade you with some of these great songs and to kind of take a trip through history and revisit some of this terrific music. And thank you so much for coming out. We want to wish you all a very wonderful and happy Thanksgiving, and of course a wonderful Christmas and holiday season that are coming up, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, this has sort of been a mix of Thanksgiving celebration and Veterans Day celebration, and I can't think of a better way to finish off this afternoon than with a tune from World War I, perhaps the best known patriotic song that there is, ladies and gentlemen, besides the national anthem perhaps. This is a song that was written by a Russian immigrant named Israel Bailyn. You knew him better as Irving Berlin. Irving Berlin immigrated from Russia when he was a child. He escaped from Russia with his family. They came to the United States, settled in New York City. Irving Berlin experienced his very first songwriting success in 1911. He was so grateful for the great opportunities and the wonderful life that he was afforded here in the United States that could have never happened anywhere else. And he wanted to give back. So how did he give back? He gave back by serving in the military, the U.S. military, during World War I. And during the downtime in fighting, Irving Berlin would write little songs and little skits to amuse his fellow servicemen. And one of the songs that he wrote, he thought, well, I don't know, this is overly patriotic, overly nationalistic, very sappy, doesn't really have any commercial value. So he put it aside. Says it'll never make it. It's not really worthy of the marketplace. That was 1918. 20 years later, a young lady, famous singer named Kate Smith. Kate Smith landed her own weekly national radio program. Kate Smith was good friends with Irving Berlin. She came to Irving, she said, I've got this brand new weekly radio show, and I don't want to sing the songs that everybody else is singing. Irving, you got anything that's different? I want to sing different material that hasn't been sung before, that's not being sung by anybody else. It'll help make my show a success, make it stand out from all the others. Irving Berlin said, yeah, there's my reject bench. You can go through those. You see something you like, you're welcome to it. These are the songs that don't have any, they're not marketable. They have no commercial merit. Boy, did Kate Smith prove him wrong. Kate Smith rifled through that list of rejects, that pile of rejects. She picked out this tune, God Bless America. She sang it on her show, instant success. The record was a huge hit in 1938-39. Irving Berlin, realizing his mistake, was so taken by the success of Kate Smith's recording of God Bless America, Irving Berlin decided he would set up a trust fund so that all of the royalties for God Bless America would go to the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts. And even to this day, those organizations benefit from God Bless America. So ladies and gentlemen, a fitting way, a terrific way, I think a wonderful way to cap off this wonderful afternoon is with this great classic tune. So, and if you feel like jumping in and singing along, certainly welcome you to do so. I can use all the help I can get. Here we go.
David, if you please. 1, 2, 3, 4.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairie, to the ocean, white with gold. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Thank you, everybody. God bless all of you. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy holidays. Enjoy the rest of your day. Drive safely.